Alrighty, we are live. Thank you very much for joining me this. It's quite a beautiful day here in Melbourne town. It's 21 degrees, and I hope you're having wherever you are, you're having a good day and having a productive week. Hey, this is my first LinkedIn Live. I've done Twitter Live, I've done Facebook Live, and we're going out to both of those. But LinkedIn Live, testing it out today for the very first time. So that will be very interesting. Now, a couple of things that I need to cover today, because I've had time to stop and think. And, when we're running businesses and we're doing what we're doing, I'm in consulting, among other things, often we're just doing the do and trying to stop and think and think our way things through. But in recent times, I've had the opportunity, thank you, COVID, to sort of stop and spend a lot more time reading and with my chicken scratching, doing all my little diagrams and Venn diagrams to try and work a lot of things out. Now, the pain point that I see out here, and it's been building and it's not getting any different. And listen, jump onto the comments. I'd love to really hear what you think on this. If you're running a brand, you're a marketer, you're in comms, or you own a business, one thing that I see time and time again is lots of confusion, loads and loads of confusion when it comes to the marketing side of a business, communicating your brand, all of that side of things. So I've titled today's live stream. Oh, sound is good here. I'm just checking some of the comments. Daryl can't hear me, but Raquel can. So I'll just keep going. If people can't hear me, that's not great. But hopefully the sound's coming through okay now. Just a bit of a turn up a little bit of the microphone. Sorry about that. Loads of confusion around marketing and brands and the whole side of things. Now, when we look at it, we're looking at, do we do SEO? Do we do social media? Do we do content? Where is the creative side and the advertising and the paid side and all of those activities? We used to have PR agency over here, and the ad agency did this, and we had a direct mail agency who turned into a direct marketing agency. And now all of those agencies are all clipping over each other's territories. That's not necessarily a bad thing, but it does cause confusion. I've recalled very vividly one conversation with the head of PR for a very large brand that you would know and probably love. And she was just saying how she was getting all these content ideas from, I think there was about 6 or 7 agencies involved: ad agency, PR agency, social agency, digital agency, the SEO agency. There was one other as well. I think there was a content agency that was chipping around the edges. And I just said to her, you've got to take control. You've got to create a strategy that at least put it out to these guys, and so they know that what the track is that you're on. Otherwise, you'll totally lose control of everything, and you can't just keep doing stuff, because that's the problem today. We can really just do stuff. Now, a couple of things here. When we're looking, I was also listening to a fantastic podcast, if you're into comms, PR, that side of things. Paul Sutton runs Digital Download, and the last 2 episodes that he's had 3 gun experts, people who are running new types of agencies in the UK. And the conversation was all around, where is PR going? Where does SEO fit creative? What is communications today? Does it matter? All of that, everything. There was just such a really robust conversation with these 3 experts. And what I loved about it is that whether you call it PR, whether you call it comms, it doesn't really actually matter. And these guys don't care about it. They're really going ahead. But one was a creative SEO agency that is known in PR. The other one was it says it's in PR, but it's a performance marketing agency. It actually doesn't really matter. Now, again, this causes confusion if you're on the brand side, if you are the marketer or the in-house PR person or the owner of the business. This causes huge issues, because who do you go to? Do you need SEO? Do you need a full digital agency? Do you need a social media agency, a content agency, PR? Now, this is where it gets interesting. So I've named today, I'm just checking who's here. I can hear. That's good. People can hear. Terrific. But what I really wanted to get across today, and I'd be interested in people's opinions, is that, okay, what do you need? What does your brand need to do? Because you can't do everything. And so I've titled today Brand versus Demand. I think that's the first step, is to say, do you want to be brand or do you want to be demand? Now, and often you've got to do the both. Now, as you would suggest, brand means getting people aware of you, and I'll go into that side of things in a minute. And the demand is really the conversion and the sale, and to generate leads and that go on to sales. Now, I'm a massive believer in what you do beforehand. Forerunners, you've got to be known, you've got to be liked, you've got to be trusted, you've got to be front of mind today with people. If you're not in their minds every now and then, you're in a world of pain. So just that whole recognition side of things, and being talked about in a positive way. And that's where I see where PR fits really nicely today. It helps you get known, liked, trusted, front of mind, and talked about in a positive way. Now, the way I see PR and comms, again, call it whatever you want, 4 things, the 4 R's. Recognition. You need to become known and remembered for all of the right reasons. Resonance. Is your message cutting through? Is your story cutting through and resonating with the right target audiences? Relationships. Deepen the level of connection with the people who matter the most to the success of your business, your cause, or your issue. And reputation. Actively enhance and protect your brand and how it's seen in the marketplace. Recognition, resonance, relationships, reputation. That is ongoing 365 days of the year. You should be doing that all the time. And that will help you become more known, liked, trusted, front of mind, talked about in a positive way. Now, if you get that, these are all forerunners to the sale, the demand side. Too many brands that I see are clicking straight over to let's go into the demand generation again and again and again and again and again, without building it up first. So if you think of a pyramid, I see what I do, and that's owned, earned, and social media. That's probably in a PR purview in this way: recognition, resonance, relationships, reputation. They're at the base of the pyramid, 365 days of the year. So when you start renting your audiences and paying for advertising and paid media and doing partnerships and sponsorships and doing direct with people, direct phone, whatever it is you're doing, at the very top, if you're known, like, trusted, front of mind, top of mind, being talked about, all of that sort of stuff, that makes it easier. So let me call that PR: recognition, resonance, relationships, and reputation, just for the sake of it. It probably has all sorts of other elements: content, social, earned media, SEO plays a role there. So let's just, for want of a better term, call it PR. That is going to pave the way for your marketing efforts, for your demand generation type activities. The two work hand in hand together. Now, when we say brand, I don't just mean brand awareness, just slapping your logo. That means nothing. Do people recognize your brand? Do they recognize your CEO? Do they recognize the people within your organization? Are you known for the right reasons? And are you top of mind with the right people? Resonance. Is your message cutting through? Relationships. Deepen that level of connection again and again and again. And reputation, continue to build and enhance your reputation. Now, I'm just going to quickly, trust is the ultimate currency. Thanks, Donna. Absolutely, trust. Know, like, and trust, the social currency of today. You've got to earn it, and you can lose it like that. You've got to, I always love McDonald's, and this is going back decades. They've always done this thing called the trust bank, and that's building their bank of goodwill. Sorry, it's the goodwill. Bank of goodwill, where they're doing good things, good things, good things, good things, building the bank of goodwill. So when the shit hits the fan, and it will at some point, they lose a bit of their deposits, and then they build them back up. Now, you imagine if your bank of goodwill is at zero and shit hits the fan, bang, you're in world of pain. So bank of goodwill, trust. That's pretty much what we're talking about here. That's a giant microphone. Thank you, Jim Stewart. Yes, it's a Blue Yeti, and it's actually not as big as what it looks like there. It does look like enormous, but you know, what can I say? Now, a couple of things from that. So that's all I wanted to really rip into today. How do you build more recognition? How do you build more resonance with your story and your message? How do you deepen the level of connection with people and continue to build those relationships? It's not just your customers, it's who are the people that influence them? It could be your employees, it could be your partners, it could be people in government or local council, if that's important to the success of your business. And reputation, again, we want to be actively building this, enhancing it over time, earning the right for that reputation to continue to build. Our bank of goodwill, we want to be doing that all the time. That's when you start marketing. That's when your marketing is going to work a lot more, because if people know you, they like you, they trust you, you're front of mind, you're being talked about positive way, there's a relationship there, there's respect there, that's when people will at least might even take notice of your ads. They might not even block you. They might actually even subscribe to your email newsletter. Again, you've got to treat them with respect. This has got to be sustainable, but think of it in the two ways: brand versus demand. Recognition, resonance, relationships, reputation, ongoing. Now, to do that, I think you've got to use owned media, content, social media. You've got to have your leaders out the front. You've got to get your experts out there in the public, because we know that they're trusted and credible sources of information, according to the Edelman Trust Barometer. SEO plays a role. And then you start looking at the other things. I mean, a lot of people don't agree with me on this. I believe that the communicators and the people who are building these 4 R's, they should be doing email to your list to continue to build this relationship. That's what they should be doing. And then the brand demand people work in hand and look at some of that, those emails that are then designed to generate a sale. So as you can see, there's the 2 areas. They're not exclusive. They work together. One helps the other work harder. But if you go straight to the demand generation, not saying it won't work, it's just going to be a lot harder. So that's all I wanted to talk today. Let me have a look. A few people talking amongst yourselves. That's all good. Ariel from Argentina, welcome. Geez, we're going global for the first LinkedIn Live. Must give this a name. Anything else? All good. If anyone's got any more comments, but that's the side of things. So in upshot, lots of confusion. We need to strip ourselves from the confusion. We need to develop a philosophy of what works for us and our brand. We can't do everything. There's no point just jumping onto every shiny new toy. We need to look at the tools that are going to work for us, but let's not just jump to the tactics. Let's start with a clean slate, make sure we've got a strategy, how we're going to build that recognition, how we're going to resonate with our story and our message. Is it the right one? Are we adding value through the content we create? Are we driving conversations through social media? Is our leadership online? Are they out there talking to people? Are they connected? Are they building relationships with influencers? All of that stuff. Business owners got to be doing it. Marketers, PR people need to understand it. Where does SEO fit? Where does social fit? All of those things. So leave it with you. So the other name checking there was Paul Sutton, Digital Download. Have a listen to the last couple of episodes, particularly if you're in comms or PR and you want to understand where the world's going. Believe me, there's talk, that if you're just a PR shop that does earned media and just does the media relations side, you're in a world of pain. Once we get through COVID, that was the general gist. And and looking at these smart agencies that are doing SEO and they're doing creative and they're doing performance-based marketing as well, maybe that's where the future is. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks a lot, guys, for the very first LinkedIn Live. Might catch you again this time next week. I might make it a habit. Okay, see ya.